So much has happened, and there's so much that's gone past. Your ex-husband, Eddie Van Halen, passed away. Your son got a Grammy nomination.
What happens when a love story that captivated the world crumbles under secrets too heavy to hold? Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen were America's dream couple, a TV sweetheart and a rock legend whose passion lit up headlines. But behind the glamour, a hidden struggle was tearing them apart, one that Valerie only dared reveal decades later. Her raw confessions will shake you, and their untold truth will change how you see their fairy tale forever. Join us as we unravel a saga that's as heartbreaking as it is inspiring. Some love stories burn so brightly they captivate the world, only to unravel in ways no one sees coming. Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen were that couple, a TV darling and a rock icon whose romance seemed destined for forever. Yet after 25 years, their bond shattered. What hidden struggles tore them apart? Valerie's recent revelations hold the key. Join us as we peel back the curtain on a relationship that defined an era. Valerie Bertinelli wasn't just a star, she was America's sweetheart. In the late 1970s, her role as Barbara Cooper on One Day at a Time made her a fixture in living rooms nationwide. Her warm smile and relatable charm earned her 2 Golden Globes by age 20, cementing her as a rising talent. Fans adored her wholesome image, a beacon of stability in a chaotic world. But beneath that polished exterior, Valerie was navigating the pressures of fame. Could her grounded life withstand a collision with rock's wildest spirit? Enter Eddie Van Halen, a 26-year-old guitar genius rewriting the rules of music. As co-founder of Van Halen, his electrifying riffs on albums like Van Halen in 1984 sold millions and reshaped rock. Eddie wasn't just a musician, he was a force, raw, rebellious, and unstoppable. His frenetic energy on stage contrasted sharply with Valerie's scripted world. Yet in 1980, fate intervened. During an actor's strike, Valerie, visiting family in Shreveport, Louisiana, scored backstage passes to a Van Halen show. One glance at Eddie's album cover sparked curiosity. Meeting him? That was love at first sight. But could this whirlwind romance survive the spotlight? By April 1981, they were married, a union that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. The media obsessed over this mismatch, the clean-cut sitcom star and the untamed rock god. Fans from both worlds were hooked, seeing their love as a bridge between TV's polish and rock's chaos. Yet the reality was messier. Valerie's days revolved around tight schedules and memorized lines, while Eddie thrived in a haze of late-night gigs and endless tours. She'd wrap a 12-hour shoot, then catch red-eye flights to join him on the road. Their love was real, but the grind was relentless. How long could they keep up the pace? Their differences ran deeper than schedules. Valerie, raised with family values, craved stability. Eddie lived for the moment, parties, music, and the rush of fame. Early on, these contrasts fueled their passion, but cracks were forming. The public saw a fairy tale couple, but privately, they were 2 souls struggling to sync. In her 2008 memoir, Losing It, Valerie hinted at the strain, describing a life far less glamorous than it appeared. Their love was tested not just by fame, but by the personal battles lurking beneath. What challenges awaited them? As the 1980s unfolded, their marriage faced darker trials. Eddie's casual substance use, common in rock's party scene, morphed into a crippling addiction. Cocaine and alcohol became his escape, building walls between him and Valerie. She wasn't just his wife, she became his lifeline, fighting to pull him back from the edge. Moments of sobriety offered hope, but relapses crushed it. In a 2022 interview, Valerie recalled the pain of watching Eddie spiral, a struggle that tested her resilience. Could her love save him, or would it consume her too? Eddie's health took a devastating hit. In 2000, he was diagnosed with mouth cancer, a blow that shook their world. Surgery removed a third of his tongue, a brutal sacrifice for a singer and guitarist. Yet he refused to quit smoking or drinking, habits that fueled his decline. Valerie, now a caregiver, juggled his medical appointments and mounting bills, all while her own emotional world unraveled. The man she loved was slipping away, physically and emotionally. How much could one heart endure? The distance between them grew unbearable. Both sought comfort elsewhere, leading to affairs that deepened their wounds. In Losing It, Valerie confessed to a moment of infidelity, driven not by malice but by a desperate need for connection. Eddie's struggles left her isolated, battling loneliness in a marriage that felt hollow. Her mental health suffered, manifesting in an eating disorder that drew harsh tabloid scrutiny. Weight gain became a public spectacle, pushing her further into seclusion. Was this the price of loving a rock star? Valerie's strength was undeniable, but it wasn't enough to bridge their divide. Fame amplified their pain, turning private struggles into public fodder. In a 2024 reflection on Behind the Music, Valerie spoke of the brutal toll of their toxic dynamic, marked by addiction and betrayal. Their love, once vibrant, was now a battleground. The world saw them as perfect, but the truth was far more complex. What lay ahead would push them to their breaking point, revealing secrets that would redefine their story. The fairy tale of Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen was crumbling, but the world didn't see the fractures behind their dazzling public image. Fame masked their growing divide, yet the end was closer than anyone realized. What secrets did Valerie hold close as their love unraveled? Her courage to face the truth would redefine their story, but not before a silent storm changed everything. Stay with us as we uncover the quiet collapse of a legendary romance. In 2001, whispers of trouble surfaced, catching fans off guard. Valerie and Eddie, Hollywood's iconic duo, confirmed their separation after 26 years. No explosive arguments or tabloid scandals marked the moment, just a subdued statement that left everyone hungry for answers. Why had this golden couple, once the envy of millions, drifted apart? The media grasped at shadows, but Valerie and Eddie offered no fuel for the fire. Their silence was deafening, a puzzle that sparked endless speculation. In a 2023 People interview, Valerie reflected on shielding their son, Wolfgang, from the chaos, choosing privacy over public drama. Her focus turned inward, away from the spotlight that once defined her. For 6 years, the world heard little. The divorce wasn't finalized until December 2007, but the interim was a void of information. Valerie, known for her grounded charm, retreated from the public eye. She avoided reporters, skipped red carpets, and poured her energy into raising Wolfgang, then a preteen navigating his parents' unraveling world. This wasn't just a break from fame, it was a deliberate reset. Valerie later shared on the Drew Barrymore show in 2022 that she craved a simpler life, far from the rock star chaos that had consumed her marriage. But could she truly escape the weight of their shared history? Her low profile wasn't just about protecting Wolfgang, it was about reclaiming herself. After years as Eddie's anchor, Valerie stepped back from Hollywood's glare. No glitzy premieres, no tell-all interviews. She chose quiet, a stark contrast to the whirlwind of her past. Yet the silence invited rumors. Tabloids spun tales of infidelity or clashing lifestyles, painting their split as a classic Hollywood casualty. Was Eddie's rock and roll excess the culprit? Or did deeper, unspoken wounds drive them apart? The lack of answers only fueled the mystery, leaving fans to wonder what truths lay buried. Valerie and Eddie's refusal to feed the gossip mill made their breakup enigmatic. Fans who'd cheered their 1981 wedding now scrutinized every public sighting for clues. A fleeting photo together. Did it hint at reconciliation, or was it a final farewell? The media chased shadows, but Valerie stayed resolute, guarding her truth. In a 2024 Today Show appearance, she described this period as a private reckoning, a time when she and Eddie became strangers to the world. Their story, once a beacon of romance, felt like a faded photograph, its edges frayed by time. What had really happened behind closed doors? The silence wasn't just a shield, it was a testament to their pain. Their marriage, celebrated as perfect, was a carefully crafted illusion. Fans saw love, but Valerie and Eddie were grappling with a reality far messier. The public's adoration couldn't mend what was breaking inside. As years passed, the question lingered, would the truth ever surface? Valerie's eventual candor would shatter the myth, revealing a story not of betrayal, but of survival. In 2008, Valerie broke her silence with her memoir, Losing It, peeling back the layers of their marriage. She didn't just recount events, she bared her soul. Eddie's addiction, a shadow that loomed over their 26 years, wasn't a fleeting struggle but a relentless force. In the book, she described loving a man whose brilliance was eclipsed by cocaine and alcohol, a battle that left them both scarred. Could love alone conquer such darkness? Her words painted a portrait of devotion tangled with despair, a woman fighting for a partner who was often lost to himself. Valerie's honesty was raw. She admitted to moments of infidelity not as acts of malice, but as cries for connection in a marriage marked by emotional absence. Eddie's addiction created a chasm, leaving her isolated despite their shared life. In losing it, she wrote of feeling alone in a crowded room, a sentiment echoed in her 2024 Behind the Music episode. Their story wasn't a fairy tale, but a human struggle, where love clashed with addiction's unyielding grip. Valerie didn't vilify Eddie. She portrayed him as a flawed genius. Caught in a cycle, neither could fully break. Her memoir wasn't just a confession, it was a step toward healing. Therapy, she revealed, was her lifeline, helping her unravel the pain of addiction and betrayal. Sobriety became her anchor, a way to reclaim her identity beyond Eddie's shadow. In her 2022 book, Enough Already, Valerie dug deeper, admitting she'd idealized their romance, clinging to a fantasy of young love. They'd met too young, she said, unprepared for fame's pressures and addiction's toll. Their perfect marriage was a myth, built on hope but fractured by reality. What did it cost her to face that truth? The most stunning revelation came in 2024 when Valerie told CNN that Eddie wasn't her soulmate. The statement shocked fans, shattering the last remnants of their fairy tale image. She explained they'd been emotionally disconnected for nearly 2 decades before their divorce. Her love for Eddie had evolved, no longer romantic but rooted in shared history. This wasn't a rejection but a reckoning, a woman embracing her truth after years of silence. How had she carried such a secret for so long? Valerie's openness sparked mixed reactions. Many praised her courage, especially for addressing addiction and emotional survival, topics rarely discussed by celebrities. In a 2024 East Weekly post, fans called her brave for exposing the raw truth. Others questioned whether airing private struggles, especially after Eddie's passing in 2020, was fair. Yet her story resonated, a reminder that even iconic love stories bear hidden scars. Valerie Bertinelli had laid bare the truth of her fractured marriage to Eddie Van Halen, shattering the illusion of their Hollywood fairy tale. Her courage to speak out transformed her from a rock star's wife into a beacon of resilience. But how did she rebuild after such a public and personal unraveling? As the final chapter of their saga unfolds, we dive into the moments that redefined her life, proving that even the deepest wounds can lead to profound healing. Stay with us for a story of rebirth and redemption. The 2007 divorce didn't sever their connection, it reshaped it. Bound by their son, Wolfgang, Valerie and Eddie forged a new kind of family, rooted in mutual respect and love for their child. They stood side by side at Wolfgang's milestones, concerts, birthdays, and Van Halen tributes, not as lovers, but as devoted co-parents. In a 2023 People interview, Valerie recalled their quiet unity, a stark contrast to their turbulent past. Could this fragile bond withstand life's next trials? When Eddie's throat cancer worsened, Valerie was there, by his bedside with Wolfgang, offering solace in his final days. Their shared history, though scarred, held them together in a way few could understand. Eddie's passing in October 2020 was a seismic loss. Valerie's Instagram tribute, raw with grief and gratitude, struck a chord with fans. She reflected on how their 1980 meeting changed her life, and his departure forced her to confront it anew. Posted on October 6, 2020, her words captured a love that endured beyond romance, blending joy with sorrow. How could she move forward when so much of her life was tied to him? Their bond, no longer marital, had evolved into something deeper, a quiet alliance forged by family and shared memories, proving love can shift without breaking. Valerie's journey wasn't about erasing the past, but redefining her future. After years of shielding her pain, she channeled it into growth. Her 2008 memoir, Losing It, had cracked open her story, but Enough Already, 2022, was a manifesto of self-acceptance. In a 2024 Today interview, she admitted she'd clung to a fantasy of their marriage, ignoring its toxic undercurrents. This reckoning wasn't just personal, it inspired countless fans. By sharing her struggles with emotional eating and mental health, she became a voice for those battling in silence. Could her honesty spark a movement? Her career took a bold turn. Swapping sitcoms for culinary arts, Valerie shone on Food Network's Valerie's Home Cooking and Kids Baking Championship, earning 2 Daytime Emmys from 2015 to 2023. When the network axed her shows in 2024, as reported by Variety, it was a blow, but she pivoted. Her 2024 cookbook Indulge in Instagram recipes kept her connected with fans, offering healthier takes on comfort food. In a 2025 Us Weekly post, she called cooking her healing space. Was this the key to her reinvention, or just the beginning of her next chapter? Valerie's personal life mirrored her resilience. Her 2011 marriage to Tom Vitale promised a fresh start, built on lessons of patience and self-care. But by 2021, irreconcilable differences surfaced, leading to a 2022 divorce. In Enough Already, she wrote that love alone couldn't fix everything, a hard-earned truth. Therapy became her lifeline, helping her set boundaries and rediscover her identity beyond relationships. Her 2024 romance with writer Mike Goodnow, celebrated at the Daytime Emmys, ended amicably in November 2024 due to external pressures. Per People. How did she find peace after another heartbreak? Valerie's lifestyle reflects her grounded yet affluent approach. Her $25 million net worth, per Wealthy Overview, 2025, stems from acting, Food Network, and cookbooks like Indulge. She owns a $5 million Hollywood Hills home and drives a Mercedes-Benz convertible and a vintage Corvette, echoing her youth. No private jets or flashy watches, but her 2021 Food Network deal and cookbook sales show business acumen. Health insurance supports her wellness journey. Her financial lesson: diversify income and invest in self-growth for stability. Her choices mirror her shift from fame to authenticity. Valerie's transformation is a masterclass in resilience. From a TV star tethered to a rock legend, she became a symbol of self-discovery, inspiring millions to face their truths. Her story, woven with Eddie's legacy and Wolfgang's rise, reminds us that healing is messy but possible. As we close this saga, one question remains: what will you rebuild from the pieces of your own past? Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen's journey was a roller coaster of love, fame, and hidden struggles that captivated the world. Their story, from a dazzling 1981 wedding to a quiet 2007 divorce, revealed the raw truth behind their Hollywood fairy tale: battles with addiction, emotional distance, and the weight of public scrutiny. Yet through it all, Valerie's courage shone brightest. By sharing her pain in memoirs like Losing It and Enough Already, she transformed from a sitcom star into a beacon of resilience, inspiring countless others to face their own challenges with honesty. Her openness about mental health and healing redefined her legacy, proving that even the most public lives hold private battles. If Valerie's story moved you, drop a comment below. Has her journey inspired you to confront your own struggles? Share your thoughts and give this video a thumbs up to spread her message. Want more stories of celebrities who've turned pain into purpose? Subscribe now for gripping tales that'll keep you hooked. Up next, we're diving into another iconic figure's rise, fall, and redemption. Trust us, you won't want to miss it. Valerie once said she idealized their love, but her real triumph was finding strength in truth. Her legacy isn't just a TV smile or a rock star romance. It's a reminder that from the ashes of heartbreak, you can build a life of purpose. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.